Hi guys, it's me, your friendly neighbor.
Hi, it's me again, Mommy Det of Team Gibbs. If it's your first time on this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and might as well click the bell for notifications and new videos. So, sa mga inahan, kumusta atong pagkamama diha? How is this community quarantine setup treating you guys? It's almost 8 in the evening, so I'm off the hook from my work from home responsibilities. I work in the government since 2009, which means that in normal days, pre-pandemic, I am out of the house 8 to 10 or 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, and sometimes working even on weekends. But that's not why I'm here. I'm just giving you a little background on how difficult it is to juggle responsibilities, whether you're a working mom, a work-at-home mom, or a housewife. It's not really that easy to maintain that so-called balance in your life. So today I will talk a little bit about motherhood and give you some of my own thoughts about it. And if you're a mom, ayaw sagbiya and allow me to take a small portion of your time. Say hi!
Hi!
When I learned that we were pregnant a month after we got married, I was excited, of course, but more like anxious and worried because, we just started our lives together in marriage and having yet to experience what it really means to be sharing a life with someone you didn't grow up with. And, I still have to understand what it means having all the responsibilities of being a wife. And then here comes another major, big responsibility being cooked up in your own belly. And as much as it was a wonderful feeling, it also disrupted not only how my body was functioning, but also my social reality. And so being pregnant for the first time and fast forward now being a mom of two in these modern times when almost everything's at your fingertips, for me it meant that I have, to make a best friend out of the internet. And I relied so much on what I read online about pregnancy, about motherhood and parenting ways and how, seeing how others are doing. But you will realize that when, I've mentioned this in my previous video, that when we give someone or something a big chunk of our power, we also give them the very weapon that can either make us or break us. And by this, I mean make motherhood either sweet or miserable. And that's really up to us. Then we begin to ask, when everything's all available online, we begin to ask, how can something that is so rich with information be both increasing our understanding and decreasing our sense of self-worth at the same time? And the answer for me, really is simple. I don't know about you, but my brain, I guess, isn't wired to take that much information. To have this so much information, so much intake in our brains all at once, maybe our brains aren't wired that way. And we are suffering, and I'm talking about us mothers, we are suffering not from the actual inadequacy or shortfall as a mother, but more like from a false sense of what's right and what's wrong about motherhood. And that has actually blown out in epic proportions. And so from all these things I learned from others, from my own experience, from reading, I listed top 5 myths that I think are making motherhood miserable. Number 5, other moms are handling parenting or housekeeping better. They are doing it the right way. I mean, seriously, and all that notion comes from seeing images of, seemingly perfect families in their perfectly organized living room, children eating the right kind of stuff, children looking so behaved and well-mannered and smart. And then there you are seeing yourself in the opposite side of the pole. And all that from seeing a single post from a friend on Twitter, on Instagram, or on Facebook. And so you begin to believe, in that notion that the grass is actually greener at your neighbor's lawn. And then you start, feeling sorry about yourself. But guess what? We mothers, we're a mess one way or the other. Do you even see mothers out there welcoming uninvited guests so early in the morning with an all-out smile? Or can you honestly tell your friend that she is being a bad mother because she overslept after a long day at work, so her kids now ended up having longer screen time, more than the usual? And if so, then we're back to mom guilt issue. So, moms out there, let's not waste our time in despair. I bet there are other things that you can do that others' mom can't. I bet other moms can't cook the way you do. I bet other moms can't make clothes for their children the way you do. And I also bet that there are other things that other moms can do, but you can't. And there's no such thing as parenting the right way. There is just your way. And how you make things work considering your own situation and your resources. But I pray that when we see posts like that of other families on social media, we take it as a challenge, some motivation. If your friend's living room looks like it came out from a magazine, then start decluttering. Maybe it's time. Start rearranging or start cooking for your kids. I bet you have some time now that we're in quarantine and all, but you gotta move, mama. Stop feeling so guilty that you actually miss out on doing something about something. Number 4, mothers should seek balance. I'm so gymnast, but really balance for me is so overrated and it's exhausting because balancing requires so much focus and it's like holding yourself upright on a handstand. You're so much concerned about keeping your balance that you miss out on the richness around you and you miss out on even on warnings around you, and that's dangerous. Balance for me as a mother and a working mom at that, it's impossible. And it's more like a tug of war. One time you're focused on your kids, the next time on your housekeeping goals, and then on your work, and then to your husband. It's like a cycle of, push and pull. I know that it's crazy, and that's why I agree and I prefer more on the concept of centeredness. We have to find our center. It might be quite difficult, but that's what we should work on, rather than working on keeping our balance. Because once we find that center, our core, there's always an option for us mothers to come back to that powerful place within us every time the world seems so imbalanced. And that will make us mamas powerful. But if you're someone who can actually handle balance, you're one brave mama, hit me up and throw in some good advice. Number 3, you should be enjoying every moment of motherhood. Excuse me? I love my kids and I love being with them. I love being a mother. And, I think it accounts the biggest chunk of why I matured and why I learned so much. Although I'm not that patient as a saint, but, I'm better because of my kids. But that doesn't mean that I want to be around them all the time or I have to be smiling 24/7. Honestly, I would slap you right on the face if you are to tell me that I have to enjoy every moment of being a mother if I am to be a good one. I'm sorry, but if there's someone out there saying that she enjoys every moment of it, it's either, for me, it's either she's a one big fat liar, she's in denial, or she's suffering from selective amnesia regarding her own parenting experiences. Because there will always come a time that, when you just want to shut the door, from all that noise, to be away from all that mess. Not to mention, the lack of sleep. I gotta admit that when the kids were still younger, one wakes up in the middle of the night and I just pretended to be sleeping. And one of two things will happen. It's either, RJ wakes up and takes care of the girls, or which was very often, even up to now, or the kids just go back to sleep on their own. Now I have more hours of uninterrupted sleep. But seriously, it's not about loving your kids less, when you feel that way. You feel it because you're human and we are thinking and feeling creatures. That doesn't make you a bad person, It even doesn't make you a bad mother. Just as long as, you snap out of it before it eats you alive. It's okay to be upset, to be angry, to be frustrated. Feelings are feelings. They're valid no matter what, no matter who you are and what role you're playing in the society. You have them because they're driven by hormones. It's science, and it's what you do about those feelings that matter. That is why it's so important for people out there, for mothers out there, not to judge one another, but inspire and, motivate each other. Motherhood both, gives and takes away at once. And it may be challenging, it may challenge our sense of self and our personal needs. Which brings me now to my number 2 myth. Number 2, Mom, your needs don't matter. Of course it matters. Moms, we should invest in ourselves. There's no doubt about that. Our needs are as valid and as important now that we are mothers as they were before. Taking care of ourselves may even help in sorting things out. A relaxing bath, a movie date with a husband, a good book, a good movie, or a wine night, perhaps buying that cute dress you've been saving up for, or whatever makes you feel relaxed and recharged. By taking some time to take care of our own needs, we will be calmer and in a much better mental and emotional state to respond to our family's needs. Remember that a happy mama means a happy baby, which ultimately means a happier husband. So do not be guilty if you feel the need, to put your needs into focus once in a while. It helps, to calm us down. But, there's a but coming. But attend to your needs within reason. Now, if you are to neglect your child's needs, but you have a Prada or a Louis Vuitton purse, or you fail to get your kids medication or buy them healthy food and decent clothes, but your nails and your hair are well done, because you need to feel good, then you misunderstood the self-care concept big time. But if you're someone out there who is, you feel bad because your little one is in the preschool and you can't be with them as much as you'd like because you're studying to get your diploma, then you need a big hug, Mama. I applaud your determination because it ain't easy, juggling responsibilities. You have lesser time now, but you take nothing from your child. And in fact, on the contrary, you're making good for your future. Now, the number 1 motherhood myth for me is a very controversial topic, and I do not want to disrupt your peace of mind, but I have to say my piece. But let's respect each other because there may be moms amongst us who really need to hear this. My number 1 myth of motherhood is that breastfeeding is easy because it's normal. I believe mother's milk is best for babies 100%, especially if you're healthy and you eat the right kind of stuff. Not to mention, the bonding during the whole process definitely feels amazing. And all the health benefits from breastfeeding to you and to your child. And it's economical. That being said, you are to know that I fed my eldest mostly with formula and mixed fed my second, which actually didn't last long. Because natural doesn't mean it's easy, and it might actually be done the wrong way. Natural doesn't mean it's easy for everyone. It might be easy for some moms out there, but it might be difficult for others. And being so stressed about it can and will affect your mental health and your ability to produce milk. Now, I guess that's what happened in my case. Lack of information, lack of support. Perhaps I needed more push, or perhaps I was too proud to ask for help. And then I missed my window to produce enough milk, and I dealt with that guilt for the longest time. Breast milk is best for babies. I agree. I'm not gonna argue with that, but there is no need to shame mothers out there because of their choice. You do not know what they have gone through, and without access to proper support from experts or other mamas, it can be very tough. And it can be very difficult, if you do not have the right kind of support system and you're not in the right state of self. No, but please do not make these mothers feel guilty than they already do. These mothers who failed and are failing to completely breastfeed are not murderers, for crying out loud. I mean, please advocate in a more sensitive and lovingly and motherly manner. Instead of attacking their choices, perhaps, these mothers needed to be mothered. Because, when people are being attacked, they fight back instead of, listening to reasons. That's how we're built. That's our survival instinct. We fight back when we're being attacked, regardless if it's right or wrong. Again, it boils down to a mother's choice. So the best weapon here is to make them understand the best choice. So please, let's stop attacking each other by forcing our beliefs to others, science or not, by force or by arrogance. Motherhood is hard enough already. Let's not make it harder for each other. Let's support each other the best way we can. And if educating mothers is the best way, then let's do it in a more civilized and compassionate way. Stop attacking each other in social media. It's not engaging. It's damaging. And seriously, it adds up to all that noise that our kids are making. Mamas, no amount of reading or watching online can really prepare us for this journey. They help, yes, they do, but nothing can really teach us but experience. And we should take each struggle, each joy, one day at a time. You're not alone. Well, so if you reached this far, thank you for putting up with my talks. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Please tell me more about your own thoughts on your motherhood journey. I'd love to hear and learn from you. Bye.